Well, good morning. So, Runic Thor's Day this week. I'm filming on a Tears Tuesday. I did mention in the last video that I was going to split the, I'm not comfy here, I was going to split the videos, maybe one a week instead of two for the time being, because I've got so much going on. I started Yggdrasil's Path on Friday, 3-hour class, which to be honest, I don't remember most of it, so I apologise, Maggie, but the heat was so intense, it makes me so unwell. And it was just unbearable. I really tried to like take stuff in, but it's just, my brains feel like they've been fried. I know people like the hot weather and everything, but it just makes me so unwell. I wish I could enjoy it, but I just can't. Yeah, so what I decided was to do a Chatterwitch Wednesday one week and a Runic Thursday the following week. So this week it's a Runic Thursday week. Yeah, we've gone into Ansu's. I made my Ansu's pendant here. It's got a little tree for Yggdrasil, because this is obviously Odin's rune. It's got a little note for sound. It's got a lapis, really connects well with the throat and energies. Obviously it's turquoise, which connects again with the thymus and the throat area. And this sort of the thymus chakra is a really interesting chakra to work with, because it blends the heart and the throat. It means, you know, what you love to be able to express out into the world. And Ansu's helps with expressing. The Odin rune, communication, connection. I mean, there's so much with that rune. I've set up my altar to do my Ansu's essence and spray, and I made some sun and moon water. So I put it out for the intense sun and then the full moon energy. So it's a blend of solar and lunar energies. And that was, I've made like two tincture bottles, mother tincture bottles, so you use them in other essences and sprays. So what I was going to do was fill up my little glass bowls with water to imbue all the energies of Ansu's. And then as I make up the spray and the essence, pour a little bit of the sun and moon water in. And then I got, don't do Ansu's. I was like, but I've set up the altar. I mean, it's not dramatic, but you know, it was like, it was all set up, ready to go. And I sort of got, no, make a sun rune and moon rune spray and essence. So my sun rune is Uruz, my moon rune is Isa. So I thought that was quite interesting, but I got like my 24 essence bottles and my 24 spray bottles, so I'm gonna have to look for I know I've got some others somewhere, because obviously I don't want to use them because they're for the 24 each of the runes. So I'm going to make a mixture, maybe, we'll see, or maybe I just do that separately and still do my Ansu's as it's all set up to go. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my Ansu's healings in the same. So what I've thought, I haven't spoken to the people on the mastery course yet, but what I thought I would do is pick a day that I would send healing to everyone that wants the healing, instead of doing it individually, because just the timing is, I've got 3 hours on Friday with Yggdrasil's Path, and the same on Saturday. So really intense, lots going on there. I've got home work, home play to do for that, although I can't remember what we were talking about. Yeah, just too much. And I haven't really done a lot since I've been sort of like last week with the heat. Is just too intense for me, so I can't even really sit and craft when it's that hot. I just can't do it. So I feel like I need to be sitting and doing some craft, get some craft out. Yeah, I'm all over the place. It just throws you out. It's so hard to explain unless you've got fibromyalgia. You can't really understand it, but it's not fun. So today with last week with the Chatterwitch, I did the solfeggio. I don't think it was a very good video. It was very long. I'm just really not the sort of person that can decide to really sit and talk about something. I'm much better to just ad hoc, maybe have a little inkling of what I'm going to talk about, but because that didn't work for me. I don't know if any of you really enjoyed it. I don't know. But one thing that I was discussing last week, I was having a chat with Felicity about stuff that we were looking at, and we were talking about that gap between two runes. So I really work with liminal space. I love liminal space. I've discussed it a lot of times. That dusk, that twilight, that in-between energy. It's someone's shouting outside, so I apologize if you can hear it. I just like that sort of, it's so magical. It's just this energy that is in that space. And when you take two runes and you make a bind rune, or you choose two runes, they come up, you have the pure energy of each rune. And like we've discussed before, there's facets to each rune, so there's loads to unpack, there's loads to look at, because it's gonna if you pick Feiyu 10 times in a row, it's gonna just be different every time, because it'd be a different aspect. There'd be you might be going deeper, you might have released stuff with the last 3 times you've worked with it, and then you're going, peeling the onion and going a bit deeper. So there's just so much to each rune. But when you take 2 runes or more, I mean, let's just do the 2 to start, then you've got the pure energy of one and the pure energy of the other, and then you have the liminal, which actually really makes another rune. So I wrote it down: liminal runes, the runes between the runes. So it's such an interesting thing, and I'm going to be working with it quite deeply, because it just fascinated me, because I'd never really thought about it in that liminal sense, because basically they just produce another rune. Rune 1 plus rune 2 equals rune 3. So you have a brand new rune that is a combination of those 2 runes. So there's depth there, there's mystery there, there's magic there. And I've sort of worked with that sort of thing before, where I work with like 2 crystals, and when you take 2 different crystals and you combine them together, say in an essence or something, you end up with a completely different crystal, because it just produces a baby. You know, it produces this magic of those two energies. It's a bit like, I know everyone works differently, but when I meditate and work, I connect. I send my roots down, like I think most people do. I send my roots down. They go down through the earth, through the rocks, through the crystals, through the enchanted caverns, through the underground streams and wells, and you know, all of that, down right deep into the core of the earth. And they wrap themselves around what I call the mother crystal. So it's not any specific crystal, it's just the mother crystal of the earth. And then you draw that energy up. So your roots are like little straws, and they draw the energy up. And I always bring it to my heart space, and I leave it sitting in my heart space. And then I have like a clear funnel that sits on the top of my head, and that goes up through the clouds, up past the birds, into the you know, the sky, the stars, the planets, up into the universe. And then universal life force energy comes down. So you've got earth energy coming up, universal life force coming down, and they meet at the heart, and then they meld, and then they're you know, they're coming together, and then I take them out into my body, and then out into my aura, and then I encase myself in that energy as a protective shield as well. So it's running through me, it's connecting me to the universe, it's connecting me to the earth. But then, you know, it's bringing that together. So when you're bringing the earth and the universal energy together, you do get another energy. So it's a bit like making that water, you know, lunar energies and solar energies. I mean, what are they making? Because they're making a third energy. You've still got the beautiful solar at this side, you've still got the beautiful lunar this side, but then you've got this other essence. Now, we can't always put words to it, because you know, it's like if we put the runes together, and we put Feu and Urus together, there's that third rune there. I mean, there's not a name for that third rune. There's not a name for Ansus and Rado. There's not a name for Rado and Kinaz, you know. So when you're doing that, you come up with a different energy, but you can connect in with that energy, and you can feel that there is another rune within that liminal space, that new rune. That's why, you know, they say there's millions more runes out there, and there is really, specifically in that way, because it's the energy they're creating. So obviously, if you're making a sigil or a bind rune, you're magically putting into place, you're really being the magician, because you're creating this new energy. Now, if I make a bind rune of Feu and Urus, it's not going to be the same as someone else making Feu and Urus. I mean, we might come up with the same design, and there are some, you know, bind runes out there that, you know, everyone says, oh, that's for protection, but you're then connecting in with yet another energy, because you're then connecting in with the person that made it, the magician that made it. So then you've got another energy. Now, that energy might not work with your energy, because why they have created it. So say we're making a protection bind rune, and they may have used the same runes as you. They may not. They may have done different, which again takes it on to yet another level. But if they've created from the same runes and made a different design, I know when I've done different sigils, so I'm working with the exact same runes for the exact same reason, but I've made a sigil 3 or 4 ways because you can. They're then different energies. There's again a different energy. So even if your intention is exactly the same, the energy is actually different, which is really fascinating, because it just proves that all of this magic is completely endless, and there's no boundary to where you can go and what you can create and what you can do with those energies. Because even making it on a different day, if you look at magic, someone working with planetary magic or days of the week, so you know what the days of the week mean, what the planets mean, and then you know you pick a time and a date. I mean, that can even be a time of day as well, as they hold different energies. You don't need to get caught up on that though. I think some people can get caught up on that. I can't do this sort of spell because it's a Friday and it needs to be a Tuesday. I think that's a bit daft, because you can just call in Tuesday energy or Friday energy, or you know, it's like not having a red candle. You don't need a red candle. You can call in the color red. You can connect with that red energy. And also colors can mean different things to different people. Everything is different to each individual person. That's why you have to find your practice yourself. It's like, you know, we all start out by learning from someone else or reading a book, but then you have to then take that further and connect in with your heart and your truth. So if something feels uncomfortable to you, whatever way, it might be just by the mind, but, oh no, I don't like that, that feels wrong, or it may be a feeling in a sense, then you really should shift and change and make it so it feels right for you. So so you got these sigils you're making, these binderies you're making, and they will hold the magician's signature, because we all have a signature of energy. So that's why some people really feel uncomfortable with someone else's energy. It's not because their energy's wrong, or you know, or their energy's wrong. It's like neither of your energy's wrong. It's just your signatures don't align, they don't match. And so you might not like their spell work, you might not like their binderings, you know, it might not feel correct to you. Felicity's doing her Rondel runes, which are basically round bind runes, and she named them Rondel runes. Now she does them and she sends them to a few of us, and she's quite amazed that we all get very different things. Sometimes we might cross over, but she says often it's very, very different. And you know, she's made that, but it could be our reaction to her own personal signature and to that signature of what has been produced. It's really so magical, and I could probably talk about it for hours and hours, because I think my mind's gone in that direction now of this liminal. You know, I done quite a lot of work, not with every rune. Some runes are still, you know, they're not ones that I necessarily gravitate towards or use that often. Some much more. But you know, if you take those 24 runes and you keep intermingling them, you know, and like I said, if you go to 3, I mean, then you know, you still, whatever you do, you end up with an extra energy. So but then there's still interplay, isn't there? So if once you end up with 3 runes to work with, then you've got from rune to rune to rune to rune to rune, like, you know, and then but you still get an extra energy because it's produced that other energy of those three mingled, and then you've got that interplay of that one with that one, then that one with that one, and then that one with that one, and that, I mean, it's just, you could go on forever. So this is just like a very sort of quick video here of me rambling. I'm just really not, I'm flagging now. I'm struggling. I woke up this morning feeling awful. It's got cooler. We had a teeny weeny bit of rain, which was quite pathetic. But it's taken its toll. That's the problem. It builds up and takes its toll over a few days. And it was just, I think it was 34 nearly every day, 35, which is just too hot for me and quite a lot of British people. But I did notice a lot of people complaining on Facebook that, of the complainers of the weather, stop moaning about the weather because it's beautiful and it's summer, and it's like, I don't like summer. I like autumn. Autumn is my season. My favourite season is autumn. I love the colours. I love the difference in the sun. It's like winter sun. Winter sun is my favourite sun. I love, you know, that mist and that energy you get. So anyway, I'm gonna actually go. I know it's not a great video, but at least it's not 45 minutes long like the other one. And I shall be back next week with Chatterwitch Wednesday. I've no clue what I'm going to be talking about. Hopefully I can get my head a bit more in the game, because I'm really flagging and all over the place. So, and I need to sort of get a bit thingy for my Yggdrasil's Path course. So love and blessings, and I hope when you get this on Thursday, I hope you have a nice weekend, whatever you're doing, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Love and blessings. Bye.